as well as graduates, MBAs, you name it. We have all this Pacific Rim connection, but we also, as Dr. Kennan was mentioning, have a tremendous opportunity, partly because of the war, to have more of those kinds of connections with countries like Kuwait. And I think that many of you need to be the leaders, the business people who have been on both sides, have sort of enculturated yourselves and know how to work in this country and also within your own countries. And that's a real important opportunity and shouldn't be underestimated. I think you have much more of that opportunity than the majority of our students do. And it's something that you need to really look at and I would say structure your education around. I think it's that important, and that the potential is just fantastic right now. I'll open it up to questions and things that you'd like to ask me about the college, or the camera's not there, don't worry about it.
We're very delighted actually to have you, Dr. Harris, because personally I completed some of my transfer units here and I didn't get the opportunity to know you personally. And I thank Dr. Kennan for helping make this opportunity possible. One thing I would like to point out first of all is to give him my gratitude, extend my gratitude as well as those of other students to both you for making this opportunity possible. And like Dr. Kennan pointed out, it's very interesting when a school has international and diverse perspective in its students' body. Because for one thing, a lot of us are going to be going back home after our studies in the United States, not only here at City College. And some of us are going to be finding ourselves as politicians and heads of government and corporate business corporations. And it's very good if the environment at these schools that we're educated here in the United States give us that feeling of home, because whenever we go home, we're going to be talking about our alma mater here in the United States. And it all adds to what Dr. Kennan was saying about having to get these facts. And people like him have done have exercised tremendous effort in having to travel through all parts of this the world, more especially Africa and the Middle East, to get these facts and to make the necessary contact for the American community. Thank you.
And that it needs to be institutionalized. And what that means is automatically we have it every year. Automatically we have Black History Month. Automatically we have Women's History Month. Automatically we have Asian Pacific Islander, Cinco de Mayo, etc. It's very important, I think, for Middle East, Africa, to do a similar type of thing. And the students are the ones that make those events successful. Okay? If the student energy is not behind them, they don't work. There is tremendous energy around those events now. And again, it would be something that I would be very supportive of if you wanted to have a day like that. I think it's really important. How about other folks?
My question is not about having a cultural event, but when would be the time, like, for example, having one African language being studied, like having a class, not African art or anything. We have all kind of European languages being studied here, French, German, even we have Russian now. But when will be the time and to have African language, like there are a number of languages, but like one of them, at least one of them, to be studied here? Or is that we don't have enough African students, or what is the quality?
Believe it or not, it's a chicken and the egg kind of problem. When the universities have a language and make it transferable, then all the community colleges have that language, whether it be Chinese, Japanese, Russian, whatever. And there have been new ones. Chinese has not been a language here for a long time. I mean, it's just the last 8-10 years. So one of the problems we have is, and other Asian groups have been in, and why can't we have this language, etc. The thing that I need to be straight up front with the students is it's non-transferable, okay? These are the 6 or 7 languages that are accepted, not acceptable, but accepted as transferable. So if a student spends 2 years taking Swahili, it's non-transferable. Doesn't mean it's not good, it's not appropriate, but the student needs to understand. When the student's in that kind of situation, most will not take the language courses that aren't transferable. The way we start, it's kind of an easy way to experiment, okay? The way we start with new programs, new foreign language, etc., is through community services. So it's fee-based. All of you know about fees, but the students in general pay very little fees. We could offer any language, any cultural, any art kinds of programs through our community services, but it would be fee-based. And then there's no credit, okay? So students are concerned about transferring, and they're very concerned about credit time. So those are the 2 obstacles. Otherwise, there are no barriers. If what happens we started Chinese in community services. It got big. Finally, the university and the state colleges agreed that it was a transferable language. Boom. We've got the whole program. So tomorrow, but soon, even fall semester, we could start a foreign language class as part of community services, and it can be anyone we choose. But again, understand the 2 problems with it.
You were talking about the guaranteed transfer
Yes.
program to UC and to Sac State, and I don't know. I applied for UC Davis for my major in there, and they said it was closed in front of international students, and also Berkeley, same thing. They said applied as a mechanical engineer, and they said it was closed. So what is the way, to guarantee this transfer?
Okay, the new transfer counselor is Maxine Phillips. So she's the one you really need to see downstairs. We do this, it's cyclical in terms of budget, the state. This reminds me now of what it was like in 1967, 1968 when Ronald Reagan was governor, and we had all kinds of financial problems with the schools. It won't last. It won't last. Maybe next year it's not going to be a good budget year. It's not a bad one for this college because we've been fairly conservative with our money, and we're still hiring new faculty, etc. Many schools, if you read the newspaper, are laying off teachers, laying off classified staff. We won't be doing that. My feeling this budget thing is going to be about 15 months, okay? I still, though, would find it hard to believe that there is no space, and particularly for foreign students who are paying through the nose for units. Interesting thing, commentary about this country. Money talks, and I would be very surprised if it didn't talk. So I can't tell you absolutely yes sitting here. I think one of the things we have to see, the student has to be here a whole year before they can actually be accepted in the guaranteed transfer. And then there's a contract that says you're going to take these courses and you're going to achieve at least this grade point average. But to make that even more successful, we pay half the salary for a counselor from UCD. She comes here twice a week. Okay? And we pay half the salary of the counselor from Sac State, and she comes here twice a week. So we want to make the transition as smooth as possible, and we want